Okay, I gotta go mow the lawn, but I'm gonna show you the, if you watched my last video, I said I burned up a piece. I'm gonna explain that right now while I have a minute. So with this system, with this 3M gun system, you need one of these. So this is what I burned up. I only had one. So I have that. Then you put one of these in there, and you put that on there. And then one of those goes on there. So I guess what I'm saying is, I don't like the clean paint. I just don't like it. So I'm saving at least $10, $12, $15,000 on painting. So I'm just gonna throw this piece away, this piece away, this piece away every time I paint. The only thing I need is this. So I got a mixing cup here. I can mix it. Then I'll pour it in here. Put the lid on. You know, filter it out. There's a filter right here too. And then so I bought an extra one because I know I'm gonna need more than one at a time. And then I bought these. These are the caps and these. I think I put two of these in here. Anyway, if that all makes sense. So yeah, those can be thrown away. These can be thrown away. That can be thrown away. This is just like a dispenser. I think it was, I don't know, 40 bucks or something. See how many there are in here, if it says. There's 12. So I can mix paint 12, 13, 14, 15 times. And the lawnmower's not leaking anymore, so I fixed that. Yeah, it's about a week or two later. It's still raining. It's like June 8th and it's still raining. So I've been doing other stuff. But anyway, I need a light to do the painting. I went out Harbor Freight. 7,000 looms. This was like this and these huge ties was 48 bucks. So I got this old halogen. I'm gonna try to mount this onto here somehow. I mean, this is just, one of these is broken and the other one, it just sucks. It gets hot and all that. Anyway, I'm gonna try to use that. If I can't, I can't. This is really light. This weighs about, I don't know, 5 pounds or less. You know, also bought this thing over here. Opened this paint last time. It was real, you know how paint gets on the bottom. So I was looking for something to stir it with. This one here, most of these don't have this part that it goes down below the flat area, if you know what I mean. Usually they have this upper, but not this lower. So that'll get the paint right out the bottom. Anyway, I'm using this time to get ready. I still need warmer weather. So I took the lights parts off of there. But I think if I take this and cut that yellow piece off so it fits in between here. Yeah, I decided to stick around and do it. I just put a piece of wood on here. It had to go down here. It couldn't go in here because it would hit here. Okay, lights off. Lights on. Okay, I raised it up. That's a big difference. Now I can see the blemishes. Yeah, this video is going to be shot over a few weeks. So here's some runs. Once you sand, now I can see it, but so there it is. It's sanded out really easy. Again, I've never painted before, but I'm starting to get it now. When you feel the paint, like when I feel it right there, I can feel little rough spots. You can't even see them, but you can feel it. So the finer the paper, the less the rough spots. So here's another drip I just got rid of. There was one here. So I'm just gonna work my way around it. I don't know, I'm just gonna show you what I'm doing. I don't know how to explain it. I don't have a spray booth, but there's like a very fine roughness on all this stuff. So I'm just hitting it with light sandpaper. I think what's gonna have to happen, when I finally get the time or the weather to paint the car, I think I'm gonna have to color sand it. Meaning after it's painted, I'm gonna go over it with a really fine sandpaper to get rid of any bumps. They're so small, I don't know what size they are. And then just buff it out. The smaller the scratches, the easier it is to be able to bring the paint back up. So I sanded that's my test piece, that, and now I just gotta sand these. And then I'm gonna try, on my test piece, I'm gonna try putting lacquer thinner and that rust, what is it called, dirt and grease remover, and see if it hurts this primer at all. I don't think it will because it's epoxy. And I think I'm gonna order a light that hooks to the gun, because I can't keep the light with me. There's too many different angles. So if I'm right here, I need the light right there, but if I swing across, I need the light here. I don't have that kind of lighting in here. I gotta get a good light. So this is the worst piece. I had it hanging like that. But again, it just wasn't light enough. I couldn't see how much paint I was getting on, but you can see where it dripped down. But it comes off, I'm just taking off with this is like 40 or 60. Just to get off the big, and then I'll hit it with this. But that's not, but you can see there's a drip here, 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 here. None of this will be seen. In fact, you wouldn't see any of that, but I got to do it. The rest of it is, let's see. The drip there. Again, you can see the light problem. Is it like I don't know. Anyway, that's what I got going on. Okay, these drips came off really easy. Again, I just hit it with 40 on the drip, and then just hit it with this. I think this is 120. And I sanded everything else I painted. It was really easy. I'll tell you this one. Now I understand why everybody uses this primer. This stuff is great. And a gun, it comes out, if you're used to using a spray can, this comes out like 20 times finer. Feels like there's a spot here. These are where the dash pad bolted in. But with this primer on here, it's really weird. It filled in all the deeper scratches. And now you can just feel any imperfection. It's great. So I'm just going to put some spot putty. I'm going to put glazing and spot putty. Okay, I'm gonna put some wax and grease remover and some lacquer thinner on that. I'm just gonna put it on and wipe it off like I'm cleaning, and we'll see what happens, see what it looks like tomorrow. Just wanna see what it does to this epoxy. Anyway, I'll come back tomorrow, sand that, see if that hurt, see if that lifted the paint at all. It shouldn't have. It's epoxy paint. Of course, I don't know anything about epoxy paint. And then this will be ready to paint again, but I need to get another light. Oh, and by the way, those pieces back there, perfect. I don't need to do anything to them. I mean, I sanded them lightly, but they're ready to paint. Well, it's the next day. The paint thinner and the wax and grease remover didn't hurt this primer at all. This epoxy primer. Now I'm just gonna sand that. And that's all I can do until I get my light. And the weather gets a little better. Yeah, I put my Galaxie battery on a trickle charger. I don't know if it's bad or not, or dead, because I'm gonna mow the lawn, which I usually have it on. And it's gonna be like 100 today, so it's like 9:30. I'm gonna mow. Like I said, this lawn takes 3 hours to mow. Up there, it's already hot out here. I'm just gonna mow until I get hot. I'm old, I'm fat. I don't want heat stroke. Yeah, I'm sitting there mowing the lawn, and I'll show what happened. So the seat started going back and forth. See me? And that seat adjustment just fell out of the seat. So I can't mow like this. Keep going back and forth. I gotta fix that. Yeah, usually I can just lift the seat up. But now, for some reason, the seat is too far forward to stay up. So I gotta take the seat off, that's what I'm saying. Goes in there like that somehow. But the seat won't stay up. Okay, dumb design. I gotta take the whole seat off. And it's freaking heavy. I mean, how am I supposed to put it back on there? I'm thinking, how do I get it back on there with the seat up? This thing is heavy. Anyway, I gotta try. Okay, I pulled the lawnmower inside, and I'm gonna hang the seat off the second floor, and then break it loose. I mean, I can't. I don't know any other way to do this. I can't lift that seat, hold this up, and do all that at the same time. It's just impossible. Hopefully this works. I have no idea where this goes. Yeah, I don't know if there's a piece missing or... Oh, I see now. This piece is sheared off. Yeah, it's the next day. I could not find, they don't sell this piece anymore. So I put a clamp on there to put it back where it should have been before it broke. And I'll see if I can weld it. I gotta take this track off. Unfortunately, I can't get these tracks off here. I got to, and I can't reach the welder to here. It's way over there. I just don't have a lot. So I got to take this seat off. I'm going to have to unhook these hooks here, carry it over there, and then weld this in place with the track on because I can't get it off. Okay, I got the seat off the hooks. This here, I believe, is a. If you don't sit on the seat, you can't start the lawnmower. So I mean, I could bypass that, but it's kind of nice. And now I can carry it over there. Okay, I got this fire blanket. I don't know where I got it. And you can see the sparks that would have gone down on the material. Anyway, I got a weld on there. You see it right there. So I think I can pull this clamp off, and I just didn't have a way to hold the camera like this. Anyway, I'm going to take the clamp off, weld the rest. Anyway, I think that'll do it. I can't get underneath. You can see the weld right there. Just blanket that area. There is a spring on here, and I'm not sure where it goes. Yeah, I went back to, I don't know if you saw, at the very beginning of this seat problem, this had fallen out and it was laying on the floor. In other words, where my feet goes on the mower. So I went back and looked at the picture. The spring was still attached here. So it had, anyway, watch. It works. I think that's good enough. And how in the heck did that steel break? I mean, oh yeah, I better spray some paint on here. Now I'm wondering, should I lube this track? And what kind of lube would you put in here? Anyway, I think that'll do her. Better than nothing, right? And the spring. Those are the things that rust. But you can see there's no rust on here at all. Okay, I fixed it. The smartest thing I did is that little clamp. I don't know if you noticed, but I lost a bolt, a nut, when I was taking the battery out. So I went down to get another nut, and I bought that little clamp when I used the weld it together. That was the smartest thing I did. Anyway, that's it. Done. Well, I just finished fixing the lawnmower. Yeah, I got a down tree. It's not that big. It's like 6 to 8 inches. But I wasn't there yesterday. This is my little path I have. There's like a creek right here. And this is just like a wetland. Anyway. That's one more thing I got to do. Every day, something. Every day. Okay, I'm getting ready to prime this again. The weather's good. And this. And those. But here's a warning. So I laid plastic down. Watch this. I don't know if you can see that, but there's plastic or paint coming off all over the place. So I got to replace this plastic. I probably should just put paper down. Maybe I'll do that. plastic, I guess what I'm saying is don't use plastic because it doesn't stick. And if I'm spraying, I don't want this stuff to come up. I don't know if you can see that, but it's everywhere. Okay, another thing I bought is this light. You see it snaps to this. So I'll show you how it works. So the problem is I need that door closed, and the light, again, the light only goes in one direction. So once I get on the back side, I can't really see. So I turn this light on. Try to do this with one hand. That's nice. That's what I needed before. So whenever I move the spray gun, the light goes. I mean, you might not be able to see it through the camera, but this is perfect. So this is what it's called. Again, this is a 3M gun, and this is a Luma 3. If you type it in, it's not cheap. It was like $260 with this holder here. Trying to do this again. I'm trying to do it with one hand. It holds on. It grips onto here. See it? Anyway, I needed that. Now I'm ready. Oh yeah, and I took the paper off. I mean the plastic off. What was weird is when I blew this off, and then I blew off this metal. Those little pieces of fine paint were stuck all over these pieces. I couldn't even see them. So when I blew them off, I blew everything off the floor after I took the Visqueen off, and then I blew these off on the paper, and then I had a whole ton more stuff, and I blew it out the door. So don't use Visqueen. I mean, if the paint doesn't adhere to the paper, it's going to have the same problem. Put my overalls on so I don't get paint all over my clothes. I forgot to filter it. Damn it. There's got to be an easier way to do this, but I haven't figured it out yet. Okay, these are the ones I burned. I burned last time. This is what I need. So this goes here. A clean one of these goes here. Not disposable. Disposable, disposable, everything else. So, okay, it's a 1-to-1 mix, but this doesn't have 1-to-1. I got paint over this. I can't see it. Okay, it's 1-to-1. There's 5 parts. So I got to go all the way up to here. Okay, this is no good anymore. All this is garbage. A 1.4 nozzle. This goes on like this. I guess you got to adjust this first, up or down, so I didn't do that. Okay. So they got a filter in here too. You can't see it, but there's a filter. Make sure that's on right. Okay, I'm ready to go. Put some gloves on. Gonna put this mask on, if I can remember how. All you got to do is clean this needle. That's it. But there's some paint for my hands. Now this time I can't throw away this piece. But this is garbage. I put this thing back on here just to protect it so I don't drop it and break it. This light made all the difference in the world. I would never paint without it unless I had a perfect lighting system. But this is, like I said, this was like 240 bucks with this piece here. Locks in right there. Anyway, I put my overalls on so I wouldn't get paint on me. I did get paint on these overalls, that's good. This is the second time ever in my life painting. I'm getting the hang of it. I don't know the pattern. I don't really understand how you do the pattern. All I know is that with this light, I can see the paint going on. And then I can see if it's light or not. And I think the secret to not having runs, I think I got one run. Don't put it on too heavy. If you can see through it, in other words, you know you need more paint, wait 5 or 10 minutes. So like this car, it'd be better if I was doing the whole car and just go around it like one time, 2 times, 3 times, whatever it took to cover it. Okay, I'm just gonna go over what I did, what I learned. Just miscellaneous again. I just do the best I can. So this thing worked great. Just keep some paint thinner so you could drop it in there, or paint lacquer. Then I had something to clean my hands. Then I just have this, I think it's the same stuff as lacquer thinner. So I got these rags. You saw my light, you saw my gun, you saw I put that on. This is the filter because I don't have a good filter system. I didn't throw this away this time by mistake. That's what it looks like. You might have saw me sanding on here. That's because there were some rust spots. And I just sanded them off. So again, I just decided I need to get this primer on here now. It's already dry. Look at it. It's drying quick. I'd say it's been 10 minutes. The temperature inside here is, if you can see it, 72. Again, I didn't want to paint. I don't want to prime until it got like 70. But here's the dash. I don't see any runs except for, I know there's a run rate. You can't even see it. Oh, it's right there. See it? Dry, dry. I don't see any runs on here. Maybe there is, but I don't see them right now. This is my test panel. Still wet there. See my fingerprint? Here it's completely dry. I must have put it on heavy right there. Anyway, that's it. With this light, the $40 light, and my $240 light for the spray gun, I got it made. Just reach around, turn it off. Remember, I think I said earlier, those disposable pieces, here's the caps. Here's those lightweight cups. Those are all disposable. Here's my throwaway ones. You can get these at any paint shop. Okay, it's Friday. I'm gonna try to prime the rest of this car today. Just gonna go around. If there's any rust spots, which I'm finding a few, I'm just gonna sand them down with 40 grit. See right here? They're not everywhere. They're just some places. I just need to get this under, get some primer on here. Okay, I'm just going to show you how I'm doing this. Again, I've never painted, so I'm just going to keep saying that. But because the car has been sitting in here, there's a little bit of condensation on the upper top, on the pieces that are up, not on the sides. So what I'm doing, again, this is 40 grit. I don't care. And I've already got most of this, but if I see anything, including this edge, because I want to spray, right? I want to spray this too. So I'm just doing that, and then getting a rag, wax and grease remover. If I don't see it anymore, it's gone. Like here's a spot that I see right here. There's a little bit of rust right there. Really, really faint. And then I'll go, after I go through the whole car, just cleaning, rubbing, sanding, cleaning. Then I'll go all the way through the car again and clean it all off one more time. Because this rag is obviously filthy. So that's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. So I don't know if you can see it, but like there's a rust spot right there. Gone. There's one there. There's three here. 1, 2, 3. This is the trunk. And after I clean it, if I can see it still a little bit, I just sand it some more. If there's any Bondo or anything, I'm sanding it up. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Okay, I got the car all sanded down, but I found this spot here. This is the trunk. This is the gas cap. I'm gonna try this Pour 15 metal prep. I'm scared to put it on the whole car because I don't know if I can get it off. But anyway, you put it on for 20 minutes. You put it on for 20 minutes and then you rinse it off. So that's what I'm worried about. So here I'm okay. That's easy to rinse off. I'll be back in 15 minutes. Or I'll just put this on. So remember what it looks like now. Okay, that's 20 minutes. Maybe it's because it's on the paint. I don't know. It's supposed to neutralize the rust. I'm going to put one more coat on there. See what happens. Oh, and by the way, you know, I had plastic on there the first time. This time I put this construction paper. That's good. It's not making any flakes. So don't use plastic on a table. And I guess if you use it on a car, just use it once. Or if you use it on a table, just use it once. Anyway, what I'm gonna do now is, I'm waiting for that Pour 15 to dry. I sanded it all down, all the rust, and I sanded the body just because of maybe I had little pieces of Bondo or dirt or whatever. Just a light sand, and now I'm gonna clean it from top to bottom with that wax and grease remover. First I'm gonna blow it off, open these doors. And then, like I said, I'm getting old, my legs are starting to get tired. Maybe I'll paint today, maybe I won't. But I gotta tape off some things, wipe it down, mix the paint. It's starting to get freaking hot. You're gonna wipe this car down. I just wanna show you how much stuff comes off of here. You just have to keep going until it doesn't get dirty anymore. It just keeps coming off. It's crazy how much stuff is on there. Still coming off. I guess if you want your paint to stick, get all this junk off of here. Anyway, that's how clean you got to get this car. I got everything except for that part of the hood and right here in the front. I think then I'm going to stop and I'm going to clean it again tomorrow. I'm just trying to get the most of the stuff off today. Today's Friday, so I guess maybe it'll be Monday. Okay, I'm done for the day. I went back to look at this metal prep pour 15. It didn't kill the rest. But I need to neutralize whatever is in there. There's some water. Or a wet rag anyway. Yeah, I'm not impressed by that stuff.